Good afternoon. This is Judy LaRock here for Flowers, Veggies, and Other Things. Today I'm here to talk about the one shrub that does the best on Cape Cod and has the most questions, and that is our wonderful blue hydrangeas called Nico Blue. This particular one has already been pruned and is ready to go for the season. These are the easiest shrubs on Cape Cod to take care of. All they ask is about an hour and a half of your time once a year. And during that time, as you can see here, I have cleaned out all of the leaves that accumulate at the bottom during the winter to allow the new shoots to start coming up. In between all these old shoots, you're going to see a lot of new shoots coming up. So when you're cleaning out, be careful not to break those. Okay, then you go through and you take out any old and dead canes that are coming up. They have absolutely no growth on them. Every one of these that's left has some growth still on it. In some cases, like this one, he's pretty old, but he still has leaves coming out and will most likely still bloom this year. Next year, this will probably be one I would remove. The new ones that are coming up here will set bud this year and bloom next year. So all of these brand new ones, this is a perfect example, nice clean white one. These are going to have your best blooms this year because they were last year's blooms, but last year's new growth. So you would take out about 1/3 of your hydrangea every year, all of the older canes that aren't blooming. Also, anything that's going in a bizarre direction can come out. You can at this point too cut off all of the old flowers that were left over from last year and just leave it a nice clean bush. After this, maybe give it a little 10-10-10 fertilizer and you're done for the year. Come July, come and take a few flowers off to use inside and leave the plant alone until the end of next March, beginning of next April, and then you give it another hour and a half, hour of your time, and that is the whole trick to the Nico Blue hydrangea. Now what I'm going to do is go down to one I haven't done and just to give you an idea of the process. Okay, here we are with one that has gone a few years and just hasn't had anyone loving it much and taking care of it. So I'm going to start at the bottom and clean out all of this at the bottom here. And I'm try to show you. See these here? This is the new ones that's coming up. These are all your new ones. So you want to get all of this stuff out. You have to use gloves because this is not a pleasant job, but it's the only bad part. You just dig it all out. And if you do this every year, it doesn't quite get this congested. I'll continue to get this out later, but I want to show you also, this is a dead branch, so these come out. This one is, get as far down, see there's nothing there, as far down as you can get all of these dead ones off. This, perfectly good one. Nice new growth. This is why you can't do this too early, because you really have to see which ones are going to sprout for you. Okay, you can take the very end off, but this in here is where your flowers are going to be. So you can't cut this type of a hydrangea to the ground. The endless summer ones that they advertise, you can, because they bloom on this year's wood. The old Nico Blues, which is what does so well here on Cape Cod, blooms on last year's wood. Okay, so you have to keep it up. But here's one to take that out, cut that back, cut out all the parts that are not sprouting anything. And this plant will just absolutely thank you all through the summer. See how this one here, let me cut it out for you and show you. This one, its bark is literally coming off. That's a good sign that that's one that should come out. It's an older stem. Okay, go. There's an old stem here. Lots of room for the new ones to just come flying out of the ground and fill this bush back up to where it's going to be happy. I see new growth here, so I'll cut there. I normally cut it a diagonal, just an old habit of mine. Rain washes over them and not as much stuff gets in them. Okay. All these old flowers, of course, can go off. So this one is he's already starting to look a lot better. And I just work my way all the way around. Okay. Until he's got nothing but the good ones left. Okay. If you have a hydrangea that blooms white, like the Annabelles or the PGs, all of the white ones, they bloom on wood from this year, so you can actually just cut those down to every year to get rid of some of the excess growth. They'll grow back up though, they won't stay small. The ones you have to be careful with like this are the big blue balls, the big mop heads. Okay. Just work your way around, but you can see how fast this is going. Get rid of this old wood, make room for the new, like giving it a nice haircut. Cleaning out the kitchen cabinets, all that kind of stuff. Okay. All the way around, I see lots of new growth coming up here that will send up new shoots for next year's blooms. And we're working our way around here. Some of the hydrangeas that I get a lot of questions about are the big ones like the oak leaf hydrangea. Can I make it smaller? No. You can cut it down and it will eventually though grow right back up to the same size. They're plants that should be towards the back of your yard and just to enjoy those wonderful 15, 16-foot plants when they get that size. Okay. But all of them can be pruned and enjoy it. Don't hesitate to prune out your hydrangeas. You can't hurt it by getting rid of all of this stuff that's not doing anything. This plant is saying thank you as I'm going around. It's already starting to look pretty good here. Okay. Get to the end. There we go. So, okay. Keep working on the inside as you're going around. And as you can see, he's got a nice open middle now. And almost all of the old ones are cut to the base. There's a big old one. Okay. There's some beautiful new hydrangeas out that come in variegated type of foliage and designs that are well worth looking into in the nursery. Hydrangeas love Cape Cod, and try some of the newer ones. The one thing that is difficult though is pink hydrangea. It totally depends on the acidity of your soil, what color your hydrangeas are going to be, which is why we can do beautiful blue hydrangeas here. But if you get a pink one, a couple years from now, chances are that pink one will be purple. They don't hold their pink color. They will revert to purple. So also, on the good side of that, if you want a nice deep purple hydrangea, start out with a nice deep pink one, and in a couple of years you'll probably have a nice purple one. Okay, this one is close to finished. Again, the process, clean the bottom, being careful for the new little shoots that are coming up. Get the leaves out, cut out all of the totally dead ones. The little dead side branches like that one too can go, and open the bush up. You have ends that aren't opening, you can cut those off too, and you end up with a beautiful open bush like this. It took me less than 20 minutes. Okay, thanks very much. Now, as I was saying before, there's lots of varieties of hydrangeas, and we're now going to go back over to Scenic Roots, and Donna is going to show us about 10 different varieties of hydrangeas that you can purchase and enjoy in your wonderful Cape Cod garden. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Hi, here we are at Scenic Roots. I'm going to take you through all the wonderful, gorgeous hydrangeas that you can find locally here on the Cape at your garden centers. Let's go find out. In the land of hydrangeas, we'll start off with the most popular Cape Cod hydrangea of all hydrangeas is the Macrophylla big leaf hydrangeas. Usually they like afternoon shade and are the barometer for moisture in the summer garden. For years, Nico Blue has been the standard. Most macrophyllias are pH sensitive with regards to their flower color. Acidic soil for blue flowers can be achieved with applying aluminum sulfate or plain garden sulfur. If you prefer pink flowers, you add lime to sweeten the soil. If you do not fuss with the pH, generally the plant's flowers will be pink, blue, and lavender combined all on one plant. The Endless Summer series of Macrophylla hydrangeas is the newest to hit the market in the last couple of years. Endless Summers, Forever and Evers are a couple of the companies that you'll find out there now. It's a mop-head hydrangea that can bloom on both the current season's growth as well as the previous year's growth. The Endless Summer hydrangea greatly outperforms the old-fashioned hydrangea Macrophylla, Nico Blue. The notion was simple, and once the breakthrough was made, the results have been spectacular. The repeat blooms of Endless Summer, the original, truly offer gardens an endless summer of incredible color. The hardy plant is perfect for everything from foundation planting to container gardening, and they even make an ideal floral arrangement or table setting for color. Usually they get about 3 to 5 feet in height and also prefer partial shade. The next in the series of hydrangeas, also in the Endless Summer category, is the Twist and Shout. The Twist and Shout is a lace cap hydrangea from the creators of Endless Summer. Twist and Shout's amazing pink or periwinkle flowers bloom from early summer all the way through fall. Twice the blooms, twice as long, vivid color, sturdy red stems, and deep green foliage can be in your garden this summer. A true rebloomer that is hardy to zone 4 and heat tolerant to zone 9. What makes Twist and Shout so special? They combine the characteristics of both the Penny Mac and the Lady in Red. This hardy, strong rebloomer is simply a plant that gardeners of all experience levels can grow, ensuring success. The Twist and Shout also gets to about 4 to 5 feet and also prefers partial shade. Annabelle is another mop-head type hydrangea grown for your gardens. She's a remarkable reblooming magenta pink hydrangea. This hydrangea is a color breakthrough for hydrangea and the newest addition to the Endless Series collection also. This hydrangea blooms from summer all the way through fall, and just like other hydrangeas in this extraordinary collection, Bella Annabelle hydrangea features a strong stem to support the weight of those beautiful magenta pink blooms, ensuring each one stands tall and proud, and it certainly wasn't by accident. Climbing hydrangeas, it's the queen of all vines, likes part shade to shade, quite vigorous, growing 20 to 40 feet once happily established. White lace cap flowers, the bark is cinnamon brown and exfoliates with age. One thing to note about the climbing hydrangeas is that it does need a very strong structure to climb and grow. Pinky Winky is the next hydrangea in the Endless Summer Color Choice series through the Proven Winner line. They are a strong-stemmed, rigid, upright bloom that is bigger, pinker, and less floppy. The flowers emerge late July and persist endlessly until you cut them to bring inside for the winter as a dried bloom. They prefer sunny or light shade locations and can grow 6 to 6 feet. And the last hydrangea in the Endless Summer line, it's the latest craze to hit the hydrangea world, is called Blushing Bride. This line of plants is widely popular, and it's a flowering demon that blooms on new wood and is a repeat bloomer to boot. Because of this ability to bloom on new wood, northern gardeners can plant Blushing Bride and still enjoy the signature summer snowball flowers that they have been denied until the advent of Endless Summer. And what flowers they are! Huge, up to 6-inch diameter balls of pure white bloom emerge in mid-May to June and continue blooming right on until frost. As the flowers age, they take on a charming light blue or pink blush that provides great contrast with newly emerging pure white blooms. The oak leaf hydrangea is an American beauty, native with classic yet unusual landscape beauty. Unusual because the texture of this plant stands out in sharp contrast to most shrubs its size due to its rough, cinnamon-colored branches, outsized, deep green foliage, and its amazing mammoth summer bloom. When foliated, oak leaf hydrangea displays big, palmately toothed, rough green leaves that are a textural masterpiece. In July and August, huge white flowers made up of a pyramidal stack of individual florets up to 12 inches tall perch above the foliage, an incredible show. Oak leaf hydrangeas are a standout in full sun or partial shade and is terrific individually or in groups. Few insects are pests, and even puts on a show in the winter with his branches peeling cinnamon bark color. The last of the hydrangeas I want to talk about is the City Line series. The City Line series is a proven winner variety of hydrangeas. They are compact, very petite. They are also a mop head forming flowers, large, vibrant, and uniquely colored each one. Fantastic when used in mass groupings, shrub borders, or even containers. They prefer full sun to partial shade, and these little beauties get 2 to 3 feet tall by 2 to 3 feet wide.